Hey guys, yesterday when I did my video on camera talking about the best gift ever being on Netflix and basically how you had to search for it unless Netflix updated a database to where you saw it pop up as one of the new releases that just came out in the past few days. You would basically have to search for it, like I said. The other thing I talked about in that video was about Spike and Rarity again, and basically the ending. But what I talked about was how I believe, or how I can think, fellow fans and analysis and reviewers like Thespio, Will, if you will, Will, aka Thespio, Katie, aka Midnight Sonata, MLP-Silverquill, Sweetie Bloom, Voice of Reason, the editor, MLP, and many others, Dusty Cat, Tarandaga, and like I said, many others, Finn the Pony, you name it, Watchful, many analysis community members and all that. My thought was, how would they react? My question is to myself was, how would they react? And what I thought was, and my answer, my opinion, I should say, was I think they would enjoy it. I think they would actually like the ending here. I mean, you may not like how Spike got Rarity's cutie mark or name, from Fluttershy by doing a fast talking trade with her. But all that basically, if you watch the special, gets washed away at the end. So the question is, for anybody. So my question is, how would they react? And like I said, my opinion is, I think they'd be cool with it, especially if in season 9, especially like what I'm trying to say, especially if this is carried on in season 9, and the whole Sparity deal is done in a very subtle way, like. Every now and then you might have, Spike and Rarity nuzzle cheeks together or rub noses and maybe have a peck on a cheek between each other and, once in a while throughout the season. So my question that I toss to you, the fans, is how would you react if the creative staff decided to follow up on the ending of Best Gift Ever between Spike and Rarity, but have it done in a very subtle way to where once in a while in an episode, you have them nuzzling cheeks, or you have them rubbing noses, or you have them doing a peck on the cheek, once in a while, like every other episode or every few episodes in between. How would you feel if it was done in that subtle way to where every now and then, like every few weeks in between, it happens, to at least acknowledge that these two are somewhat semi-official and canon? Like I was saying, how would you feel? How would you feel that if throughout parts of season 9 we had acknowledgments of these two being semi-official and canon, basically being together, but not so much to the point that that like it's in your face or anything, but it's done, like I said, in a very subtle way, to where once in a while you have little moments here and there, the nuzzling of cheeks, rubbing of noses, little kiss pecks on the cheeks between each other, and maybe once in a while, or maybe just once throughout the season, a kiss on the lips between the two. How would you feel if they decided to follow up on Spike and Rarity from Best Gift Ever and go that route out by kind of saying, yeah, they're basically kind of together, they're basically now kind of an item, but will not, shove it in your face, would make it very, very subtle. How would you feel? How would you take that in? Would you like it? Would you appreciate it more if it was done that way? How would you feel? Now, I know some of you might come on and say, well, I wouldn't do it at all. I wouldn't pursue it at all. I wouldn't make it subtle at all. I wouldn't do it, period. And yeah, that's your choice. If you feel that way, not a problem there. But I'm asking basically straight up, without those being the only answers I think people would come up with. My question is, how would you feel if it was done? How would you react? That's all I want to know. Because again, as I pointed out in the video yesterday, if you take a look at how when Spike's singing the song and he gets to the lyric of "compare to you," I want you to notice how the camera focuses on Rarity and Rarity's reaction. As I've said before, that's a reaction. That's a moment and a reaction, if you will, that we've seen many times in these kind of situations, whether it's movies, television shows, live action, or animated. Because basically that's a realization moment. A realization of basically the person you're telling this to, or the individual you're telling this to, in this case, no offense when I say this, the female counterpart to the male, or the woman, or basically your female love interest, or the female you have a thing for, you're in love with, and you care more about more than anything. Basically, and again, I say this with no offense, this is basically that wake-up moment to where they realize what you're doing is you're telling them you love them. And that's what Spike's song was to Rarity, basically saying, I love you. And this is the best I can do to express it. And the way it was done in front of not just the rest of the main six, but it was also done in front of Cadence, the Crystal Princess, Princess of Love, and Shining Armor and Discord, who probably know about it, but never expected him to do it this way. So again, the question though, in the long run, because I'm going to get me some lunch before I have to clock in, the question is, how would you feel if they continued this on, if they built upon this in season 9, and did it in a very subtle way, where every now and then, like I said, you would have a nuzzling of cheeks, a rubbing of noses, a kiss peck on the cheek between the two, and maybe just once in the season have a full-on kiss on the lips. How would you feel about that? How would you feel if they decided to do that? Do a subtle follow-up on these two now somewhat being official and canon. How would you react to it? How would you feel about it if it was done in a way that was not in your face, but done in a way to say, yeah, there is something there between them? How would you react? Give me your thoughts. I throw it to you guys. Give me your thoughts down below. Comment if you like. I'm going to get back into work now because I want to get some lunch before I clock in. But let me know how you guys will react, and I'll talk to y'all later.